was a tough loss. The Tigers took over the weekend playing the Tennessee Volunteers. He was courtside, and he told us all about it, the voice of the Tigers, Mike Kelly. Good morning, Mike Kelly.
And good morning to you. How are you?
Good. That was a tough last couple minutes of that game, huh?
Well, yeah, you put yourself in a position to win, tied at 46, and at home you got to learn how to finish. And by finishing, you don't turn the ball over. You try to play fundamentally sound. And on consecutive possessions, Missouri turned the ball over against really what wasn't, I wouldn't say, Arkansas-type pressure, where they're double-teaming the ball every time a pass is made. And Missouri just made some careless passes. And in a blink of an eye, it was, next thing you know, it's over. Credit to Tennessee. They closed the game on a 13-5 run after it was tied at 46. And, now Missouri's got to try to, really figure out a way to, bounce back and keep fighting and move forward, because the next several games are not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because it's a team that's just trying to figure out who's in, who's out, right? I mean, you want to give the young guys a chance to sort of show what they can do, and it's sort of a learning process and sort of chalk it up to see what we have kind of year.
Well, it's a rebuilding year, I think, is what you're trying to say, and in terms of the young guys, you've got to play them. I mean, because you don't have really much in the upper class. You've got, I think, two seniors and one junior. So two juniors, I guess, if you count Deuce Bello, the transfer, who has been suspended. He was taken or reinstated on Saturday before the game, but had a bad ankle, and so he didn't play. And it's going to be a difficult year. It's a team that's going to finish in the bottom half of the SEC, and now the thing that you concern yourself with is you've lost 3 straight. Now you go to Texas A&M. That's going to be a difficult journey to College Station. Texas A&M just won at LSU over the weekend. Then you're home against Arkansas. Mike Anderson's got a team that probably is a tournament team this year. And then you've got somebody named Kentucky coming to town in a couple weeks. So you got to hang in there,
right?
Because the one thing you want to do, and it's the players have got to challenge themselves, because you can't start packing it in at this stage of the season. You got to keep fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Frank Haith left the cupboard bare when he left town, huh?
Frank Haith fell in love with something called the transfer, and a couple things came into play. He didn't vet them, and I'm not sure he did a very good job in terms of vetting recruits that he brought in. Yeah, that's one thing that Gary Pinkel is really diligent on, is not only trying to recruit good athletes, guys that they can develop, but also really vetting their background, their personalities, their character. And that's something that Frank Hayes' staff was very lax on. And so you've seen, some issues off the court. You've seen guys that, have transferred and wanted to go to a different direction. I've always thought that a transfer, and there's so many transfers in this day and age in college basketball, but the one thing about a transfer is they're soft. And I say that because they couldn't accept what was going on at their previous institution. They couldn't accept that, and so they've got to go someplace else.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think that's plagued the game, and it certainly has hurt Missouri. And, Frank basically shut it down the last year and did nothing from a viewpoint of trying to build this program.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so the Tigers take on the Aggies Wednesday night, 6 p.m. tip-off, and all that action can be heard here on the Big 550 KTRS. Got about a minute, Mike Kelly. Have you seen a more exciting football game than that Seattle game yesterday?
Oh, well, what a cluster, of mistakes by Green Bay. I thought their clock management was bad down the stretch, and certainly in special teams play. You've got to field the onside kick. If you do that, the game's over.
Right.
But credit Seattle, kind of like we were talking about with Missouri. They just kept fighting and wouldn't go away, and they found an opportunity. So it was kind of an ugly game on many different levels, but, certainly an interesting finish.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Mike Kelly, be safe out there, and we'll hear you on the call on Wednesday with the Aggies and the Tigers, and we'll talk about it on Friday.
All right, take care.
Coming up 9 o'clock, Big 550.